Welcome to this week's Multifamily Sales Pulse. This is the only publication tracking the markets this closely. We see trends before they're reported anywhere else, so please check in and make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, Mike's Multifamily Minutes, so you never miss a video. And make sure that you visit our website for the full report. Starting off this week's Multifamily Sales Pulse is the recent article of Los Angeles apartment dwellers owe $3 billion in back rent. The key points of this article is that the tenants with rent debt owe an average of $2,800 per tenant. 49% of the tenants said they owe some amount of money to their landlords, and economists say that the common sense solution is to give people cash directly, but that could result in a fraud rate of approximately 5% or less. So looking at Orange County had a total of 13 closed sales last week. Out of the 13 closed sales, 8 of those sales were duplexes. And as it has been lately, 9 of the 13 closed sales were located in coastal cities. The closed sales average days on market was 39 days, and 8 of the 13 closed sales sold at or above asking price. One sale of note was an 11-unit building on Warner in Huntington Beach, built in 1988, that sold at $5,895,000. That's $531,818 per unit. The Orange County absorption rate moved up from 1.9 months previously to currently it's now at 2.63 months. And the average gross rent cap rate went from 4.22% to 4.38%. The average gross rent multiplier is now at 14.75. Previously, it had been at 14.95. Okay, let's look at the Orange County listing inventory. Orange County had 13 new listings last week, and the monthly or the total active listings now is at 166 total active listings. The months of inventory remained at 4 months, but with 166 total active listings, that's the highest number of currently active listings in Orange County in about 3 months. The active listings dollar volume is up also over 542 million. So we're seeing a bit of an increase in inventory in Orange County. Okay, let's take a look at Long Beach now. Long Beach had a total of 11 closed sales last week. That's up from 6 the prior week, and it's about average for Long Beach weekly sales. The closed sales average days on market was just 19 days. As a majority of the sales occurred in 15 days or less. 8 out of the 11 closed sales sold at or above asking price. The overall absorption rate, it was up to 3.21 months after being at 1.95 months previously. The average cap rate was unchanged at 4.76, and the average gross rent multiplier went from 14.28 to 14.17. Listing inventory was same as the prior week with 106 total listings, and the months of inventory moved down from 5 months after being at 6 months in the prior week. Okay, let's take a look at Los Angeles County. Los Angeles County had a total of 71 closed sales last week. This is much lower than typical for Los Angeles County, which usually ranges between 85 to 100 plus closed sales per week. The closed sales average days on market was about normal at 30 days, and transactions sold at or above asking price is about half typically, and that's what it came in at. The 36 out of the 71 transactions were sold at or above the asking price. The Los Angeles County absorption rate is currently at 3.75 months. It was previously at 3.9 months. The average cap rate was unchanged, and the gross rent multiplier went from 14.28 previously. It's now at 14.17. Okay, let's look at the active listings or the inventory right now. We've got 149 new listings last week. Months of inventory remained at 10 months, and the total number of active listings is 1,798. The active listings dollar volume continued its weekly increase and is now at over 800 or 8,514,000,000. All right, let's look at San Diego County. San Diego County had 17 closed sales last week. All the closed sales were 2 to 4 unit buildings, with most of the sales being 2 to 3 unit buildings. There were just 2 fourplexes that were closed sales. The closed sales average days on market was 29 days. That's remaining low. It typically is running around 30 days or less for San Diego County. There were 3 all-cash transactions last week, and of the finance transactions last week, there were 2 transactions financed with FHA financing and 3 transactions that were financed with VA financing. The absorption rate remained low but increased. It's now at 2.64 months. Prior to our last month, it was at 2.14 months. The average cap rate was unchanged at 4.7, and the average gross rent multiplier was also practically unchanged at 4.25. Okay, let's take a look at San Diego County's listing inventory. Last week there was 27 new listings, and months of inventory fell to 15 months after being at 16 months in the previous week. The total number of active listings remained above 200 with 204 total active listings. Okay, let's look at Riverside County now. Riverside County had 8 closed sales last week. This is double the amount of the prior week and up from the past 3 weeks prior. The closed sale average days on market was 45 days. It's about normal for Riverside County, and half of the transactions of the 8 transactions sold at or above asking price. Riverside County's absorption rate is moved from 2.34 months now at 2.74 months. The average cap rate and the average gross rent multiplier were both unchanged from the prior month. Taking a look at the listing inventory for Riverside County was 11 new listings last week. This is a recent high, not seen in over a month, but the total number of active listings remained at 96 listings, same as the prior week. Okay, taking a look at San Bernardino County. San Bernardino County had 17 closed sales last week, the most in 1 week in several months, because typically San Bernardino County sees about 8 to 12 closed sales per week. The closed sales average days on market is about normal at 34 days. And as usual, we saw a lot of transactions sold at or above the asking price, with 9 of the 17 closed sales selling at or above asking price. The monthly absorption rate jumped from 2.16 months previously, now at 3.125 months. That's a big change there. The average cap rate went from 6.28% previously, now at 6.37%. And the average gross rent multiplier moved up a little bit from 9.47 to 9.55 currently. San Bernardino listings last week, we saw a total of 20 new listings last week. And this stat is typically around 7 to 15 new listings. So the total number of active listings is now at 150. And that's the first time we've seen 150 listings in San Bernardino County in quite some time. So overall, it seems that we're seeing a bit of increase in inventory, and transaction activity has been about the same with increases in some areas. It's looking like the absorption rate has increased just about everywhere. Let's see what happens this week and with closed sales and listings, and see if the trends are continuing. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Mike's Multifamily Minutes, so you never miss a video, and we'll see you next week.